Greetings, good folks. This is Bonafide Queen Bree, and I want to share a message with you, something that is quite concerning to myself and as well as some others. I've heard a few people talk about it. Very concerning thing that's going on in the world. I know that I've done videos before talking about, being very choosy, very, very careful, aware of the company that you keep and who you choose to go into community with. That still stand. I still believe very strongly in that, and pretty much just protecting your peace, and then just protecting yourself and having your best interests at heart. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should move like that intentionally on a day-to-day basis. There is something that is of concern, and it really should be of everybody's concern, and that is the loneliness epidemic. Approximately 52% of people in this country say that they feel lonely, and approximately 47% say that they feel as though their relationships are not meaningful. They don't have meaningful relationships. So one may say, well, why do you bring up the statistics, and what is the significance or the importance of this topic? So in the age of social media and technology, it's almost as if social media in 2020, the events that unfolded and took place where people were on lockdown and things, it kind of ushered in the way that it seems, right? I'm going to say the way that it seems as though it ushered in how do I say this? It ushered in a breed of human people, of hybrid people is what I like to call it. Zombies / humanoids, or human beings, because people everywhere you go, they're either have their heads buried in their phones, glued to their phones, or they're always on, social media, and we're all guilty of it. People like to spend a lot of time on social media for different reasons. But, considering, 2020 and the events that unfolded with that, people being separated, people made to stay inside, it was almost like a conditioning, because even as people came out of that and the world started to move, and we started to see movement, and everything went back to normal operations, if you will. People went back to their day-to-day jobs, and they went back to life as usual. It seems as though there was something that was taken from humanity, or some things, more than just one thing, such as things that we learn in maybe adolescent years or childhood, kind of basic human mannerisms, manners, decency, greeting people when you're out, when you're in different places, when you frequent different businesses and things, people greeting you and feeling safe to do so. It seems as though one of the things that that time and that event did was it inflicted a lot of fear. It influenced a lot of fear in a lot of people, because people were scared of germs, people were scared of getting sick, and now it just seems as though people are offended in places when you speak to them. People are not as friendly anymore. People say that they're lonely because they got so used to possibly being in the house, being around people, but they can be in the house or in social settings or in a group of people and still feel lonely. People being on social media, glued to their phones, where on social media you can be all that you can be. You can be anything that you want to be, whatever you even want to pretend to be, right? People are online creating creating illusions and false realities where people feel as though they have true relationships and connections because of an online presence, or these unreal friends that they think that they have because they have a certain level of a following, or because they get certain likes, or because they get certain, those dopamine hit, or certain reactions and attention. But is it real? A lot of it is not real. And I'm not saying that, social media is not useful. It is. Social media is a very useful tool. And social media can be very useful for a lot of reasons, but the problem is that, people have a false sense of reality. They have a false sense of relationship and real genuine connectedness. And you don't find that on social media. Not saying that you can't find certain genuine people or people of a certain stature, of certain character and things on social media. You can, but people are getting quick dopamine, and they're getting, all of these good chemicals going off in the brain, and all of these good feelings from what they're getting from social media, which is convenient. And then it's really not influencing and allowing people to step outside of social media and to get into community, to begin to vet individuals and have conversations in person consistently, where people are creating community and friendships. So if a high number of people in the country are saying that they have relationships, but they're not meaningful, what can we learn from that? Is it because people are not paying attention to people? Are people not investing in their people, or the people in their vicinity, in their organizations, in their family, in their friend group? Are people spending too much time on social media and things that are less important, and not spending more time investing in the people that they love, or the people that they see are potential partners, friends, mates, etc.? And also, what does this topic and these experiences, what does that tell us about the social development and the humanness? If people are walking around like zombie human hybrids, what does that say about humanity? What does that say about people's social health, right? And it is of great concern, because when you consider a loneliness epidemic, and the statistics, and the people that say that they are lonely, whether people are, whether they have the courage to admit it or not, there's a lot of things that screams that that's what's going on. But it actually leads to mental health crises, and then it leads to things that are even worse, mental states that leads people to certain levels of darkness where they no longer want to be here. So there has to be a healthy amount of time to be on social media, and there has to be some type of intervention that can take place to get people off of their phones or off of social media and into their communities, and addressing certain issues in community and family and friendships. And getting out of the false realities. Stop spinning and trying to build your whole life on Meta and social media. It's nice dopamine, it's a nice experience, and it's nice to network with individuals and to communicate with people and to tap in with, the people that we enjoy. But I personally believe that there's something deeper that is really bad, and it's developing into something worse, because we know that a lot of people are promoting AI, and a lot of people are becoming dependent on AI. So there's just a lot of technological things, including social media and things like AI, and things that are going to take away from our humanness in the future. So it's a very serious topic. It's a very important topic that we all should be talking about, and it's just something to think about. I just wanted to put something on your mind. So hopefully you guys will tap in with me and let me know what you think about this. What do you think about the state of humankind as it relates to social development, social health? Ashe.